this video, I posted a video. I'd finally come back from a break from posting YouTube content, and I decided to delete all of my videos. In this video, I made a promise, and that was to tell you the story of me running summer camps. I've been writing all my streaming ideas down in my notes app, whilst also working 10-hour long days at summer camps for children, who, by the way, are terrifying. But I'll get to that into another video. Was not correct grammar. Okay. I've been a counselor for this summer camp for a couple of years now. And yes, I did it again this summer. Last summer, however, was one of the most interesting. My group was the biggest it had ever been. In this group, we were responsible for 30 kids, and when I tell you these kids were mean, I mean it. For this story to make sense, I'll give you a little bit of background. At the beginning of the camp, I decided it would be fun for me to wear this squid hat that I owned. I'll put a similar image up on screen now. Yeah, that picture. That's like, yeah, you know. Anyways, immediately the kids in my group were drawn to me because of this hat. They all loved it. This was a 5-week-long camp, and each week had a theme, and this week was art. That's not too important though. First day, or first couple of days of this camp passed with no problems. I don't exactly remember how long ago, as it was over a year ago, but I remember very clearly that I wore this hat every single day without fail. At some point, this group of kids, I'm pretty sure it was 3 girls and 2 boys, got really attached to me and only wanted to hang out with me and play with me because of this hat. This very much was not possible, and they quickly learned that, but they still tried to hang out with me as much as humanly possible. On this specific day, we were doing activities in the gym. I don't exactly remember what we were doing, but it had something to do with painting. This is important, I promise. We also ate lunch and snack in this same gym. After everyone was done with their activity, they were allowed to freely play in the gym. But for some reason, most of the kids were sitting in a circle in the corner on the opposite side of the gym that I was sitting on. I was chilling at the lunch tables with the other counselors, so I wasn't paying too much attention, but obviously I knew they were there. Eventually, 2 of the girls from the group from earlier came over to me and they asked me to give them the squid hat. Of course, I laughed it off and was like, no, this is my hat. I didn't want them to break it, and why should I give it to them? These kids were evil. I couldn't trust them. Have you guys ever been chased by 30 kids before? Because I promise it is terrifying. I walked over to the kids in the corner and they immediately started reaching for my hat and laughing. But luckily I'm taller than them since they're like 5 years old to 12 years old. But they started climbing on me. 5 kids climbing on you weighs you down, so I did almost fall. Luckily for me almost falling made the kids fall off of me, and I made my grand escape, which was walking back to the lunch table. On these tables, however, was leftover paint from their previous activity, and the kids had followed me over. At this point, there were about 17 kids surrounding me, all from the corner group. Some of them had the grand idea to cover their hands with paint and try to touch me with it. Of course, I told them they couldn't do that and sent them to the bathroom to wash the paint off of their hands. But it was one of those you can't catch us all moments, so all the people remaining all at once decided to shove their hands in the paint, and the kids heading to the bathroom came back, and it was terrifying. So I ran. It was probably the most intense moment of my life. They were all screaming, "Give me the hat," and "I want the squid," and things like that. Everyone joined in. The whole group was chasing me, besides maybe 1 or 2 kids that were very into doing their own thing. I was sprinting and juking these tiny paint-covered children. The world was going in slow motion. Anything to protect the precious squid hat. And then it hit me. Child. Not any child. The oldest. The 12-year-old. He grabbed my legs, and so did a couple more children, until there was 10. They dragged me to the ground, and I covered my head and tried to protect the hat. I was covered in paint, and more kids joined in. I was at the bottom of a dog pile with 30 children on top of me, trying to pry the hat from my head. They ripped the tentacles off, and finally, it was gone. The kids ran off with my hat, and I was left sitting in a pile of paint and misery. The other counselor was just watching and laughing at me. Now that my hat was taken, he finally stepped in to help. Thanks so much. Appreciate it every day. I got the kids to give the squid hat back, but it was kind of ripped and covered in paint, so I still wore it for the rest of the day, but after that week, it just had to be thrown away. Honestly, I'm not sure how I survived that day, but the squid hat sure didn't. R.I.P. squid hat. So that's the story of how I got absolutely destroyed by a bunch of tiny children. Comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. I have a ton more camp stories that I'd be willing to share, so just let me know if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Only like 10% of my viewers or something like that are subscribed. I don't know, I'll put the statistic on the screen. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!